Challengers to Allah, a study in defiance and divine retribution. This analysis explores various figures and civilizations throughout Islamic scripture who openly defied Allah's commands, examining their motivations, the nature of their challenges, and the divine consequences they faced. Iblis, Satan, the first rebel. Iblis, also known as Satan, holds the grim distinction of being the very first being to openly defy a direct command from Allah. Before humans even took their first breath, Iblis refused to bow before Adam when commanded to do so. His arrogance stemmed from a flawed reasoning. He, made of fire, deemed himself superior to Adam, who was made of clay. Defiance, refusal to bow to Adam. Reasoning, believed fire was superior to clay. Consequence, expelled from paradise, stripped of angelic status, granted a reprieve until the day of resurrection, vowing to mislead humanity. Key scripture, Surah Al-A'raf, 7:11-18. The people of Nuh, Noah, 950 years of rejection. Prophet Nuh preached to his people for an astonishing 950 years. He warned, reasoned, and begged them to abandon idol worship and return to Allah. Despite his relentless efforts, they mocked him, covered their ears, and wrapped themselves in garments to avoid his words. Defiance, persistent rejection of Nuh's message and idol worship. Consequence, a devastating flood that swallowed everything, with only the believers on Nuh's ark surviving. Brutal detail, Nuh's own son refused to board the ark, believing he could outlast the flood on a mountain, and drowned. Key scripture, Surah Al-Ankabut, 29:14, Surah Nuh, 71. The Ad, arrogance of strength. The Ad, by their own assessment, were the strongest people who ever lived. Their boast, recorded in Surah Al-Ahqaf, 46:21-22, reflected their genuine belief in their invincibility. They were massive builders, constructing towering structures across the Arabian Peninsula. Prophet Hud warned them to abandon their arrogance and idol worship, but they dared Allah to bring what he was threatening. Defiance, arrogance, idol worship, and challenging Allah's power. Consequence, a sustained, violent wind that screamed across their land for 7 nights and 8 days, throwing people about like hollow palm trunks and obliterating their civilization. Key scripture, Surah Al-Haqqa, 69, 6-8. The Thamud, defying a divine sign. The Thamud, who succeeded the Ad, inherited the same land, carving their homes into the rock faces of what is now Madain Saleh. Allah sent Prophet Saleh to them, along with a specific miracle and test, a she-camel that was not to be harmed. The most wretched among them, in an act of open defiance, hamstrung and killed the camel. Defiance, harming a sacred she-camel, a direct violation of Allah's command. Consequence, after a 3-day warning, a single mighty blast struck the civilization, destroying all who participated in the defiance. Precision, 3 days' notice, 1 sound, total obliteration. Key scripture, Surah Al-A'raf, 773-78, Surah Hud, 1164-68, Pharaoh, the self-proclaimed God. Pharaoh is the most extensively documented challenger in the Quran, appearing across 27 surahs. He not only rejected Allah but declared himself a god, famously stating, "I am your highest Lord," Surah An-Nazi'at 79:24. He enslaved the Israelites for generations and ordered the killing of newborn boys. Despite Prophet Musa performing 9 distinct miracles, Pharaoh hardened his heart until the waters of the sea were closing over him. Defiance, claiming divinity, enslaving the Israelites, rejecting Musa's miracles. Consequence, drowned in the Red Sea. His body was preserved as a physical sign for future generations. Crucial detail, his declaration of faith at the moment of drowning was not accepted. Key scripture, Surah An-Nazi'at, 79:24, Surah Yunus, 10:90-92, Qarun, the arrogance of wealth. Qarun from the people of Musa was an example of arrogance within the community. His immense wealth was legendary. The keys to his treasuries alone were too heavy for a group of strong men to carry comfortably. Surah Al-Qasas 28:76-82. When advised to be grateful and give from his wealth, Qarun arrogantly claimed it was due to his own intelligence and skill, denying any divine involvement. Defiance, arrogance, ungratefulness, attributing wealth solely to personal merit. Consequence: the earth opened up and swallowed Qarun, his palace, and all his accumulated treasures. Unique punishment: no flood, wind, or army, simply the ground swallowing him whole. Pharaoh's magicians, from challengers to martyrs. This story is unique as it begins with defiance but ends with faith. Pharaoh assembled his most skilled magicians to publicly humiliate Musa and prove his miracles were mere tricks. The magicians, adept at illusion, created a convincing display of serpents. However, when Musa's staff moved, they immediately recognized it as a true miracle, not an illusion. Initial defiance, attempting to discredit M.